Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. That's what the little notch is for. That shoves that pin back. There. And number 2 doesn't have a pin. But the end of this die is beat up. I'm not sure exactly why that would be, but it won't go in there. It'll go, but I don't want to chew up the inside of the thing. And this would be... oh, I have 3 and 1 reversed. There we go. These must have been carried around in something for a long time, because this is a hardened steel die, and I had to grind off that burr. That's got one too. So these have all been beat up. Now it's possible that they were driven out of the hole, or they've been banging against the hardened pin that goes and fills that hole for a long time, and that might have put the burr on them. They got a burr on all 4 edges though. And that burr gone, they slide right in. I can see where this would be kind of a pain, literal pain, because when you've got the cutting dies in there and you pull on one a little too hard, you can whack your finger into one of the other cutting dies. I could see somebody using a device of some kind to pry that out. Yep, that'd be a good way to nick your finger, especially if these are all sharpened up.
Pipe threading die always threads onto the pipe in a clockwise direction. That means that this is the leading edge of the die, and this tooth is the one that's going to cut first. An interesting note: each one of the dies in the number 3 position is chipped at this corner. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This weak edge here is also chipped. The strong edge, the number 1 cutter, and the number 4 cutter, both are just fine. But 2 and 3, that is the weak edge of the thread, probably should have been nipped off right there because it doesn't follow and it just makes a great place for stuff to get caught. Now to sharpen these, this is the cutting edge. The opposite edge is just following along for the ride. And this bevel here is just to make it so that that edge doesn't chip off like the teeth in the number 2 and 3 position are. Now this is the leading edge. So we want to have the leading edge touch the stone. Because we're side wheeling, we don't want to press really hard. This is not recommended for any heavy grinding. If you push really hard on the side of that wheel, you're going to snap it. Also, side wheeling generates a lot of heat, so you want to keep it cool. And it's important to come all the way down to that leading edge here. I don't need to get that little black spot out of there. That's just taking away steel that I don't have to do. And I want to maintain this parallel to the sidewall. Having that hook just weakens the edge. The way the bit is tapered, it's automatically going to give that a sharp edge. I don't need to put a hook into it. Now this chipped tooth, that's the last tooth of the cutter that goes through. This one does a full cleanup, so this one being missing is not good, but it's not a real important situation. This will still cut good threads. I'll go on and do the other three. That bobble there means I'm going to have to take it further back. You can sharpen these bits a few times, but you can't continuously sharpen them forever. There, now I've gotten all the way down to the bottom. And I have sharp teeth all the way across. These have been sharpened before, and they free-handed it. They didn't have a tool rep. There we go. Now we have 4 sharp cutters again. Since this is the last thread cutter, this one is already making a full thread. This one is just cracking. Having that top thread is not good, but it won't make it so that the die is scrap. Now unfortunately, I only have 2 sizes. I have 5 different sets of cutters, but I only have 2 sizes. I have 1 inch and I have 1 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and sharpen the rest of the dies, and then we'll have to get a piece of pipe and try cutting. I have to scramble around and see if I got a piece of 1 1/4 inch or a piece of 1 inch. Those are my 2 options. Now, seeing as how I probably won't be cutting that much 1 inch and 1 1/4 inch pipe over the next 50 years, these cutters will probably outlast me by a good long time. With just a little bit of work, I now have a fully functional threading die.
If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.